It's the mission Saturday morning right here at beautiful Respect the Underground Worldwide Radio. Let's get out of that. Let's get straight into the mission today as we get a little background music going. A super big episode, my biggest interview to date. He's in the room. We'll get to him in 1 second. I'll give him applause now. The one and only Ruben BOGAYONG. Am I saying that correctly?
I mean, yeah.
Close, right?
Get your boogie on. Ruben boogie on.
Ruben boogie on. I wanted to get the, it's very, very tricky times now when you mispronounce people's names. So I make sure I ask everybody I interview, make sure that I'm saying their name correctly. Let's chill that out a little bit. So thank you so much for coming in today. Yeah, Ruben. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
I'll give you the old school applause. I have, just so everybody knows, we'll talk to Ruben in 1 second. He's been nice enough to hang out. Can I get you a beverage while I do my little morning intro? Would you like a soda, a water, a juice box, or a Crown on Ice?
Juice box.
Juice box.
Yeah.
You got it. Can you handle the traditional Capri Sun right there? Pow!
Damn.
Hit the mic with it. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, first things first, I got my brand new merch on. De La Prime Farrell Streetwear has blessed me once again with the Frozen Cactus sweatshirt. They've got a great relationship with the show and everyone here at Respect the Underground. They gave me the full sticker pack. If you didn't get your sticker pack, make sure you holler at Farrell. I believe there was one problem with that, but everyone else got their full package. Salute to Farrell Streetwear and his combination with De La Prime, one of our premier Phoenix, Arizona artists. And once again, you can't get this. It is sold out. But next time they drop something, be sure you check it out. The great quality clothes, great designs, everything good I can say about Farrell Streetwear and De La Prime, I will say here at Respect the Underground. All right, let me chill out on Jocko here. There we go. All right. Ruben, boogie on today. Boogie on. Can I say, Ruben, before we get started, I've been a little irritated with white folks.
Really?
In Arizona, specifically Mesa, this past couple weeks. And let me tell you why. I just got to air this out. My son and I were at the playground. I'll make this simple and short. A lady's son and my son got to playing, and they started to have snack together. They started to share snack, which as long as everything looks like it's packaged correctly, we don't mind. As long as they're not sharing beverages, just, maybe a cracker or two. And halfway into snack time, this lady says, "Oh, yeah, we had the COVID 3 weeks ago." Now, 3 weeks, imagine that. Has your whole family been cleared? Were you cleared 3 weeks ago? Did you start having it 3 weeks ago? I didn't. All these questions are running through my head. But in general, I'm very nice to these white folks out here. So I just smiled, and isn't that nice? Yeah. And and then after we had snack time, my son motioned towards his eye a bit, and her being a quality mother wanted to rush over and help my son get something out of his eye. Now, excuse me, lady, you just had COVID. You're not going to be blowing in my son's eyeball. Now, that's bad enough. Now, just yesterday, we were at Not Main Events. We were at Elevate Jump House out in Mesa, Queen Creek area. And as you know, they have some quality pizza and fries. No salt. They don't let you have salt with the French fries, but they have some decent fries. Right. And yeah, it's crazy, Ruben. So anyway, we're getting some food. My son loves a pizza and a French fry when he's jumping around at the jump house. And so our fresh fries, and my full soda and a bunch of napkins were sitting on the table. Uh-huh. And I had left to go retrieve my son to let him know the food was almost ready. It's time to eat. Just me and my son there. During the week, my wife works hard. I'm out with my son a lot. You can catch me out at all the playgrounds. And these two white ladies sat at my table. Now, the food was clearly there and not eaten, not done, And just for the record, there were 10, 15 other completely empty tables. So these ladies sit at my table. So when I arrive with my pizza and my son, they say, "Oh, do you mind us sitting here?" This is my problem with passive-aggressive white people, especially white ladies. You're so entitled, you don't even know what your problem is, and this is just to cap on to what Bill Burr has talked about frequently. Now it's my position to be the asshole and make them move when they have totally bombarded my little table. Now, it was just two ladies, or so I thought, and it was just me and my son, which I knew. So I said, sure, hey, help yourself, They weren't eating anything. They had no reason to sit at the table other than they were just big and tired. So we're sitting there and we're about to finish up eating. Next thing I know, we are surrounded. A couple basketball teams, maybe a football team of men and other women and children. I counted 10 or 12 people. I only got that many fingers. Clearly they had a large group.
Yeah. So hold on one second.
Sat at my table. So I finished my food and I moved on. Because, again, I out passive-aggressive your passive-aggressiveness. And then I come on a radio show and talk shit about all these people anonymously. That's what I do, But is it wrong? Do you see the levels of wrong there, or am I just an old grudge psychopath? What's going on?
No. I feel the same way. I feel the same way when I'm in public.
Okay, I had to talk about that. And my other beef of the week is dispensaries. Now we've gone recreational, and the money is flying in off the charts. They're running out of pre-rolls and weed left and right. They're letting first come, first serve. Some people are not even letting med patients go first. Now, listen, there's going to be backlash, and I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be the painted face, bullhorn wearing leader of this backlash when it goes down. Because what I want dispensaries to realize, number one, your whole industry was built on us, the med card patients. You would not be here and ready to receive all this new money if it had not been for the dedicated medical patients that have got you here up until now. Number two, I got the whole script written. I'm just looking for a better spokesperson because you can't see, marijuana helps me physically and emotionally, but my pain is not as apparent as it is in other people. So I'm looking for a better spokesperson, but I've already got the whole script written. Hey, what's up to whoever's checking in out there? We got Ruben Boogie on today. I'm just finishing up my vents before we get to a real comedian. We let handicapped people park different. We let handicapped people in pain. We let them do all these things in life, and you dispensaries have forgot all about that. So I will be buying my marijuana from the street. The old-fashioned way. Ruben Boogie, let me get off my pedestal and get to you today. Let's get more music to going. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm amazing. Did you get everything you needed off your chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to do that because I have a bit of the hardening of the heart, and if I don't get that shit off my chest, it builds up in there, and it's bad for me physically. So I appreciate it. Okay. I'm honored that you sat through my weak attempt at a rant, but I appreciate you coming in so much.
Man,
you are a comedian, a musician, producer, engineer, businessman. Absolutely. I'm sure in my heart you're younger than me. I'm amazed. You are on Instagram creating content on different levels, various levels of content with your cohort, your lady, your friend that's a lady that you do your YouTube videos with. I don't want to confuse the issues. We'll get to your status. Big supporter, comedian. I believe you set up shows. I could be wrong. We'll talk about that. Very funny guy. I watched a lot of your YouTube material yesterday and today. An ex-divorce court alumni.
That's right.
You were actually on TV. I don't know that I've ever. I went to school with some Super Bowl guys and stuff, but I don't know that I've actually sat down and talked with someone who's been on the television, the demon that is television.
I'm on more things than that.
I'm sure. I'm new to you, pardon. I'm only 3 years to Phoenix, so I'm learning. Fill us in. Give me the whole credential. Give me the whole checklist. Where have you been?
Oh my goodness gracious.
And why did you agree to sit down with me? That's what I can't figure.
Okay, I fuck with you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's love.
come on, man.
That's love. That's love.
So,
hey, tell us, please.
So, it started a few years ago when I went super viral with this video where I impersonated a Walmart manager. Right?
Okay. And I saw that one.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones I happened to watch, I believe.
Yeah, and that was a few years ago, and that went super viral. I'm talking in like overnight.
Hilarious.
30 million views.
Sure.
And then, so what happened was, as that was going viral, I started making more videos, and in a matter of like 1 month, I probably had like 6, 7 viral videos. And when I say viral, I mean multi-million views, right?
Yes, real viral, not local viral, not indie viral, mainstream
I'm talking
viral, worldwide,
viral.
millions,
Millions, right?
millions.
So I started getting hit up by comedy clubs, and they're like, "Hey, we want to book you." The problem is I was not a stand-up comedian.
Oh, you fell in that way.
Right.
Interesting. So, great.
So
Okay.
I was leaving hella money on the table.
Sure.
All kinds of money. I was having like, I don't do comedy. I don't do comedy. So after like turning down maybe.
How long ago was this?
Like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, please continue. Go ahead.
So after turning down probably, I don't know, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 worth of money I could have had if I was a stand-up comedian, I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna start doing stand-up so I can rake in this money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I started hitting up some dope ass spots downtown, stand up live, Tempe Improv, started performing a little bit, and got myself a nice set. And then once those phone calls started rolling in, talking about, hey, we need you out in LA, we need you to do this, we need you to do that for stand up comedy, I started going.
You make it sound very easy. How long did it take you to put together? And when you say a set, 20, 30 minutes, what are you thinking there?
Back then, I put together a good 15 minutes, but 15. Then I do crowd work for another 10.
Yes, so, I noticed your crowd work. You're excellent with the crowd work. The video I watched, I believe it was a gentleman named Craig you were fucking with the whole time. I could be wrong. But Brett.
Brett.
It was Brett. I get my white names mixed up sometimes. Brett.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah, it is, no doubt. But yeah, so crowd work, let's get into that. So to the people who may not, I'm a big fan, huge fan of comedy. And it's interesting that you fell in that way because that's the classic. In comedy, there's the guys that have been bouncing around nightclubs for 5 years, trying to get an audience.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys like you who found a funny thing, skit, whatever, bit.
Niche.
Yeah. And then wrapped your comedy career around that kind of comedy. Had you had any experience on stage? For a lot of people doing comedy, the hardest part, especially if you've been used to doing skits on or behind the keyboard, is just getting up on stage in front of people. Was that hard for you at first?
No, I mean I've done hella music before that.
The young lady. Oh, so you had already been a performer.
Oh yeah,
you were music first.
Oh yeah, I used to perform with Justice and all them back in the day before.
I met you through Loud Pack Net.
Right.
Sativa and those guys.
Yeah, before that. I'm talking way before that.
Okay.
I'm the first Arizona artist to open up for Yo Gotti's first show in Arizona.
Okay.
I mean, I've opened up for Bone Thugs. I opened up for DMX a couple times.
There's an artist you rap and sing, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm a little fuzzy on.
Well, I don't really do music like that no more. To be honest, I just can't stop making music.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's in my heart. You know.
Right.
So, fresh out of high school and all that for a little while. You know, we were doing really well. We're just doing really well. You know, we were hitting the streets selling anywhere from 50 to 100 CDs a day.
Wow.
Yeah, we would travel the whole state. We'd travel states selling albums. Like it was really good for a little while.
Sure.
So so getting on stage was not hard for me at all.
Well, that's and they say that's half the battle.
Yeah.
And did you study other comedians when you first got started? How did you find your own voice, if it were? Because to be honest, I just want to say this for the record. Please go to YouTube and check out his material. The 15-minute set I watched was concise. I mean, some guys stumble through their bits or transitions, and I mean, you just flawlessly weaved through. It seemed like you were weaving your bits and your crowd work together, and I mean, it was smooth. A lot of guys, let's be honest, a lot of guys work at comedy 5 or 10 years before they get to that kind of smoothness. You so fast. How do you? I think you make it sound so easy, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, there's 2 different kind of comedians. Number one, it's the natural, right?
Sure.
And then number 2, you got the people that want to be comedians.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a comedian, but those are the ones that they're going to take a little longer to develop. And you know what I mean? I just feel like I have that natural talent just to get on stage and make people laugh,
I think so.
And I don't, you know what I mean? Some people care about what people think about them.
That hurts a lot. Ego gets in the way.
I don't give a shit.
Right. Well, that helps. That helps.
I don't care.
When you were on divorce court, had you already started comedy at that time?
Stand up? No.
No. Because and did you end up marrying the woman on divorce court?
No.
Okay. The mother of your children. I want to speak very politely about her, but I was curious because what happened next? I watched the show, but it was up in the air.
Let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
Everything on TV is fake.
Right. Okay. Right. I know that. I know that.
I helped write that whole episode.
Oh, you helped write the episode?
Pretty much.
Okay. I felt like the laughs were legitimate.
Well, yeah, the crowd doesn't. I mean,
Right,
it's a
right.
show to the
I feel
crowd.
right. No, I feel like you got I feel like you cracked everybody up. You got a lot of
Yeah,
laughs.
yeah, yeah.
Um, is that something now? I know in the past, I'm hip to the game. I've seen, rappers, other performers back when talk shows were more of a thing. Guys would go on talk shows, find some reason to get on a talk show if they were an aspiring entertainer.
Yeah.
Um, was that totally conceived by you to get on TV?
Yeah, so I made myself like I made
Because she described you very much as a comedian then. I guess is what I was the long way I was getting around to when and I agreed, it's on TV. We all know TV is all pretty fake for the most part. But it was played very well, by the way. Being that it was fake, you great actor.
Thank you, appreciate you.
Great actor.
Well, I set a list of goals for myself a few years ago, right? So the list of goals I was set myself. I was like, okay, number one, I'm gonna do, I want to go viral. Number two, I want to be on TV, and number three, I want to do stand up comedy.
In that order, and you've done it.
And I knocked them, yeah,
Wow.
and I knocked them out like that. I didn't sit on it. I didn't wait for somebody to say, hey, I got an opportunity for you. I just made my own opportunities and just did my thing.
A lot of guys have a hard time transitioning out of music. I was one of those guys. I kept banging my head in the wall. I'm gonna try it with a group. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna be the leader. I'm gonna step back and be the Dr. Dre for a younger guy. Kept beating at my head into the wall in music instead of probably moving on sooner. I've had a lot of success. I have a lot of fun doing this show. So I think I'm in a good place now. What helped you move on from music? Because you were admittedly pretty successful. And I guess a lot of people get to levels in the game and they keep thinking, well, one more try, one more hit song, one more good effort, and we're going to. What told you that it's time to move? Was it just the viral video or the success of that? Or was it something else that moved you away from music?
So, just recognizing, what I was maybe I wouldn't necessarily say better at. I would just what the people want. You know what I mean? Let's get it right. Let's get one thing right. Number one, let's get this right. Only a certain amount of people like rap music.
True.
Everybody likes to laugh.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
it's addictive. It's great. Makes you feel good. Rap doesn't always make you feel good, even when it's good.
Right.
And when it's bad, it can make you feel horrible.
So I would post, my music videos and whatnot, and I'd hit the 3, 4, 5,000 views, whatever. But then I started posting my funny shit, and when I started posting my funny shit, I was noticing 12,000, 30,000, 50,000. I started noticing those numbers, and I'm like, damn, people would rather see me be funny, and deep down, I would rather be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for a little moment in time, I was doing both, and then I just totally stepped away from music and just focus on my comedy shit.
And it seems like it's the right choice for you. So that's my advice to other people. Don't keep beating your head in one avenue. Try some other avenues.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that want to rap and entertain these days. It's such a big field. Hard to crack.
When it comes to music out here, I follow a lot of local musicians, you know what I mean? Rappers, singers, all that stuff, and one thing that I see that, you could be the best rapper in Arizona, you could be the best rapper in the world, but if nobody knows it, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these cats out here, or anywhere, but mainly out here is where I follow them, just don't conduct themselves or promote themselves, you know what I mean, the correct way. Now, I see some of the arguments on Facebook and shit between rappers and whatnot. And
that's a big thing here in Arizona, more than where I came from. It's almost if you could find somebody to reality show the things that go on the internet between Arizona people, I think it'd be a funny show. I think it'd be great, even if it was just animated. But and if you and sometimes it gets very hot, gets very heated. At other times it's just funny, but there's a lot of shenanigans that go on the internet as far as the Arizona entertainment scene.
Yeah, well, exactly. And so one of the biggest things that I a biggest flaw that I see, is you'll have, and it's like 90% of musicians out here, rappers, whatever the case may be, they'll talk shit about someone who promotes themselves, but like pays for a billboard or pays for an ad to get boosted on Facebook or whatever. And it's like, and they'll say, yeah, but mine's all natural. You know what I mean? All 13 of my plays are natural.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, I mean, that's awesome for you, you know,
Isn't
but
that a bit of immaturity? They don't quite understand how the business works. I mean, I'm aware there was a day when CDs were a thing. The record company would buy their own CDs back to get to maybe to get to gold or something, and
right, right.
or just to make the project look better than it was actually doing, in hopes that it would pick up and catch fire. So there's always a lot of behind the scenes.
There's a lot of
Like you
techniques.
said, TV's not real. There's a lot of promotional things going on in music that some people don't look as authentic, but that's just the way the business does and has worked.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. You know what I mean?
Right.
The entertainment.
It's about the show.
Yeah.
It's not about backstage.
Exactly.
It's about the show.
It is about the show.
Did you face any? Have you faced, since your 3 years in comedy and doing stand up? And my wife and I actually came and saw you live. What have you faced any backlash or any negative energy from the keep it real comedians that I work the clubs? I'm coming up the hard way.
Like, yeah, like locally or like when I go to like out
Or
of
just
town?
in general, in general from anybody, because I know from listening, I'm a big fan of comedy. I listen to a lot of comedians and comedy podcasts and whatever, and I know there is that, you know, there is that between the people who became internet funny and the people who are traditional stand-up funny, there might be a little problem there. Have you encountered any of that?
Just locally here.
Just locally, okay.
Yeah, and I don't even really. I stay out of the local comedy scene. You know, there's a lot of people don't know, but there's a pretty big local comedy scene.
Sure.
I mean, there's
especially during the last year, because we've been open more than most of the country as far as comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
So before I started doing stand-up comedy, I didn't even realize how many stand-up comedians were out here in Arizona, or how many clubs do stand-up comedy, or how many bars have comedy nights. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't really realize it until now. And, but there is
you start running around getting that money, and you start realizing.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, a lot of local comedians out here, you know, they don't look at me like they don't. Oh yeah, they don't like when they have like local things going on and shit. Go ahead.
No, keep talking.
Yeah, when they have like local things going on and whatnot, shows or whatever the fucking case may be, they don't include me in it. They don't think I'm gonna be a part of it and whatnot. And you know what? At the end of the day, most of the time I'm not gonna be, because I have a bigger picture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I do get some of those people that are like, no, we never see him at the open mics. We never see him out in the streets, at clubs with us.
So it's similar to rap entertainment in that way.
Yeah.
The local scene has a bit of jealousy because you're outside of the local scene. Basically.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I just have a different vision. You know, there's nothing wrong with if you want to continue. It's your art, right? Music, comedy, whatever the case may be, it's your art. So I don't have a problem if you want to continue going to open mics at the bar down the street or whatever the case may be. You can do whatever you want with your art. I don't give a shit. But when it comes to me, I have a different vision, different mindset, and that's gonna work for you. Maybe, I don't know if it's working for you, but it's not gonna work for me. So you know, I do my own thing.
And you're already working, so you're not looking for what's gonna work. It's working, and you're working. So what I know you maintain a business life, and I know you have comedy. You basically just do music. It calls you back every now and then. I understand that. I still do some cuts and scratches for some guys and things, but I'm very disconnected from actually the process of making music as I do this and other things. What when you started doing music, you seem like you have a lot of swag. Pardon me for saying that, no homo. And you seem you have a little bit of extra swag considering you're a man of Asian descent. Filipino, is that correct?
That's correct.
Why do we think Asians don't have as much or aren't prone to have as much swag as maybe African American or with their counterparts?
I think it has to do with a lot to do with you know, I mean, first of all, when we're going to school, right? A lot of the Asians are the ones doing all their work, studying.
Have to. Asian parents are very strict,
exactly.
right? As far as schoolwork.
Exactly. Keep your head in the books and things like that. So we're not the cool ones. We're the one, you know what I mean?
Sure.
We end up being the cool ones once the cool kids from high school get out of school and they end up fucking their life up.
Sure.
Right? We're like, damn, homie, what the fuck happened to you? You used to be the man, homie. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
So
Asian similar to black, doesn't crack as much, or you know. So you stay young, you stay vibrant, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's different parts of like Asian is in. Like, if you go to like Long Beach,
definitely.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's y'all's time.
San
Jeremy
Francisco.
Lin, Jen the rapper, you know, y'all on the come up. There's actors and there's different people in different worlds doing things.
Yeah.
Are Filipinos why in my mind do I think of Filipino people as the black Asians?
It's like the Mexican.
Is there any
Asians.
truth to that?
It's the Mexican Asians.
The Mexican Asians.
Yeah, it's because the Spaniards went to the Philippines a long time ago and fucked us all.
Okay, so there's a mix there, and there's a bit of mix of history and background, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like Filipinos with like last names like Riviera.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
When I was coming up in high school, we only had one Filipino girl that I knew of. We had several Asians, but it was a variety of Asians.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese.
yeah.
We had one Filipino girl. She told everybody she was Puerto Rican because
She was
Puerto Ricans were more popular at
right,
the
right, right,
time. It was
right.
very in the '80s. It was Rosie Perez. It was very popular in hip hop, especially to be a Puerto Rican. It was not so popular to be Filipina. If
I
you
can,
know, so I felt for her.
I kind of feel that a little bit because when I was young, like second, third, fourth grade, I would lie about my last name because I thought it was stupid.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Bogayon. It looks dumb. You know what I mean?
right.
But
Well, and if you're,
ca-
go ahead. You got to
I
take a call. Take a call.
real
Sure,
quick,
sure.
real
Take a
quick.
call.
Hold
Step
on.
out and take a
Give
call.
me like 30 seconds.
No problem. While Ruben handles business, I'd just like to talk once again to everybody looking. This brand new De La Prime frozen cactus merchandise has been given to me by the good people because I paid for it. Let's be honest. At Farrell Streetwear and De La Prime, my homie Mark Stewart on Facebook. Tap in with him. Tell them congratulations. They sold out another whole line. It's just a wonderful thing. The merchandise looks and feels great. Great designs, great prints. My T-shirt is held up wonderfully. It feels better every time I wash it. Every time I wear it, it feels better. So from the good people here at Icon Radio, Respect the Underground Worldwide Radio, I would say next time you see merch drop from De La Prime and Feral Tomcat, pretty much anything Feral Streetwear puts together, but especially when they get together with a great Arizona artist like De La Prime, as I would say. Tap in with them, please. Yeah, that frozen. Whoo, you got it. You got it. I don't see who's talking, but I see your comment. We get back. He's back. Ruben BOGAYONG. I actually listened to the good judge on the divorce court to kind of get your name correct. I see sometimes, like getting back to your swag, you can be a bit flashy. Sometimes you even dress up the fingernails.
Yeah.
Is this an attempt to cross over to the LGBTQ community?
They added some extra letters to that shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm old school. I'm not letting.
I
First
didn't-
of all, Ruben, I'm gonna tell you that's another one of my rants. I'm not letting them take all the goddamn letters and the colors.
Yo,
You already took all the fucking rainbow. I'm taking the rainbow back. You can have pink like back in the day. You take your one color. You don't get to have all the colors.
yeah.
Now they want all the letters. Next thing you know, they'll be taking the numbers too, and then what do we have then? What do we have?
Yeah.
But you got. I mean, to be honest, you have gay right in the middle of your last name. Is that an attempt to get more?
You know what's fucked up is when I used to go to jail back in the day. Like
jail stories, Ruben
yeah,
Beal.
so they would be like, when they're reading, switching you cells and shit, like in
Sure.
Fourth Ave.
They call you
They'd be like
names.
Gonzalez, Smith, Johnson, gay, gone, gay, gay.
They focus on the gay because in the word, you know what that says. You could guess about the boo, bo, boy, or whatever.
They'd
But
be like, oh, Ruben.
Ruben, yeah, Ruben.
No, serious.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
So not only were you involved in urban music, you went to jail several times. Did you break your mother's heart with all this foolishness?
Yeah. When I
How
was
was it?
younger,
How was it hard? How was it to tell your parents that you were? How was it growing up Filipino? And I asked this of other people too, not so much black people, but how was it growing up being involved in urban music, having all this swag to your parents? Did they get it? Did they understand?
Nah, I mean, my mother didn't really care. My dad hated it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? My father hated it.
You're
But
the living image of him, and he didn't really care for his hip hop.
Yeah, not at all.
I got you. What kind of music did he listen to? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, like,
Or was he just not into music? Some
no,
guys
Motown
Oh,
shit.
Motown. Okay.
Stylistics, Temptations,
Right.
Jack.
Okay.
Like all that shit.
Well, you have some R&B stylings. He couldn't appreciate your R&B stylings.
Not back then.
Oh, not bad. Oh, you were straight rap back then. This was going to jail straight rapping, Ruben. What was your rap name?
Heat, 2 T's.
Heat with 2 T's.
Yeah.
Man, you were way ahead of your time because you got to spell things different to stand out online.
Sometimes. I don't know. I think if I would have done it,
Did the 2 T's have a meaning at all, or was it just to be
be different. Just
Okay.
be different. I probably wouldn't put 2 T's today if I was going to be Heat.
If I had $1,000 in my hand, would you have a 16 ready? And I don't, so it's okay if you don't. But I'm just saying, if I did have $1,000 in my hand, could you spit a 16 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good. It's like to know you still on your shit. Do you want to talk about your any prison stories, any jail stories?
I've never been to prison.
Yeah, that's differentiate that. Jail, overnight stay, couple days stay. That's not prison's a year plus. Okay, so let's clarify. You did some jail time.
I did 9 months once.
You ever broken a car with a butter knife? Is that where we get?
No.
Call back. I've been listening just to prove it. Rip that heat, people say on the comments. Rip that heat. You might have some old fans, right? You know, people remember. Were you running around rapping when Mike Terrell was two-tone superstar?
Yeah.
That was y'all in the same time period.
I did one of his radio interviews like 10 years ago.
Okay, cool.
Two-tone superstar.
Cool. Two-tone superstar.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I thought y'all might have been in the same time zone. He's, you know, he's podcasting and doing the Hatrix and his thing now. Pay your legends, and I believe in paying your legends. So, how much is your life between business 9 to 5 life, between comedy life? How is your on a ratio 60-40, 70-30? How is your life divided up nowadays?
As far as what was it?
Yeah, what occupies your time? I know you have a 9 to 5, you manage things, and I know you have a comedy career.
Yeah.
So in your life, how does that weigh out? How much time are you on? What do you spend a lot of time writing your comedy? Do you come up with stuff on stage?
No, I don't write no comedy, to be honest. Everything's rehearsed and thought of while I'm taking a shower. I rehearse all my shit in the shower. I promise. Note
to all future comedians, there's more than one way to do it.
Yeah, I swear. And I'll be in there like out loud, and I'll have like people like I'll come out if somebody's over and shit, they'll be like, "There's somebody in there with you?" I'm like, "No, why?" They're like, "I heard you talking." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking rehearsing."
The lady on divorce court that you were in court with, you mentioned you wrote some of the dialogue. Did you write her dialogue?
Yeah,
because it described a comedian. And it's funny that you weren't doing comedy at the time, but everything that I heard from that episode sounded very legitimate, like a wife or future wife complaining about a comedian husband or a man that she wanted to be her husband, maybe that she didn't realize was a comedian at the time.
Well,
she didn't realize she was in it with a comedian, maybe, which is a different lifestyle for a woman. Are you a single man now?
Yeah, I'm single. Fuck.
Okay. So you out there. Yeah, wilding. I heard that in the comedy. Okay, you out single and wild.
No, girls don't really like my lifestyle, to be honest. Like they think they do. Right? It's cool, this, that.
If
whatever.
They really like you, it's a bit of jealousy comes in because you're out in these streets, as we say.
Yeah, I am. And the thing is I'll be like, hey, I gotta go to LA tomorrow. Oh, you gonna go to LA? Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. It's business.
I gotta go.
Yeah. And I'm blessed to go.
And when I'm out there, it's that it's that.
What are you doing
out there? Hey,
I know.
Hey, well,
my wife's doing that right now.
Yeah, well, have fun.
Not meaning it. Not meaning it at all. Not meaning it at all. You seem to have a taste for white women. Is that maybe your problem?
No, actually, I've been expanding.
I do
love white girls.
Understood.
White women is
Understood.
Yeah, that's
white
my
salt
weakness.
of the earth. Yeah, I know. Pure snow bunny. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And then you know what? Growing up, like when I was younger,
is this revenge? Is this revenge? All running around fucking on all these cute white girls. Is this revenge for the white girls in high school that wouldn't fuck with you? Is this what this is?
Nah, I fucked the hell.
Oh, you were good in high school.
Yeah.
You were good in high. You weren't one of those guys. You were good. You were good.
I was good in high school.
Because a lot of my, I'm not out here just free ball, and I have several. I'm an old white guy, so I'll say I'm gonna clarify this by saying I have several Asian friends. But I mean, even my good Asian friends are still reserved. I don't know. A lot of my Asian friends, I can't imagine them doing comedy.
Yeah.
They're more DJs. They're more quiet. They're more reserved behind the scenes guys. Okay. They're not, So what makes you so different, Ruben? Why are you so outlandish? Why are you talking about your woman's period at dinner? And what drove you to be different? I'm very different. I understand and I appreciate people that are different. What do you think? Did you catch any hard times being different as you grew up and realized you were different?
To be honest with you, man, it's just there's a fine line between being different and respectful still, or different and disrespectful.
And being an asshole. I know
exactly.
I cross that line every now and then. Not too often, once in a while.
I do too. Yeah. But some people can't differentiate, right? So
we all know the guy that's a straight asshole the whole time at the party, trying to be funny or trying to be something, and we're just having a drink, talking about the kids or whatever.
Yeah. I hate that shit. I got to get away from that.
It's not fun.
I don't like the bad vibe shit. I'm all about good vibes, to be honest with you. I'm one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. I'm never in a bad mood, right? Mm-hmm. right today is like I'm at the happiest I've ever been in my life, and tomorrow I'll be even more happier. Like I've never felt
That's a
better in my
beautiful way
life.
to live. Sure.
Yeah, and I try to implement that all the time to friends, close friends, family, things like that. Some people, not everybody has the same mindset. Not everybody has the same,
Not at all.
right? You know what I mean?
Well, there's
So
a lot of reasons to get down now more than ever, and people find themselves falling into little traps, I think, like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you think about what could go wrong in life, you could be depressed all day, every day. There's a lot of shit
That's
more than ever that could go wrong.
that's
But you gotta focus on it's what you focus on, right?
right, right. So that's one of the things, one of the exercises that I taught myself is, years ago, a few years ago, I used to wake up in the morning and think about my problems and how I'm going to get through the day. Now I don't do that. I wake up and think about solutions, and I think about something new I'm going to do today, something different I'm going to try today, knock out a goal or something that I should, that I need to be getting, you know what I mean? So like I go through every day I wake up, I always just, I think positively, and I don't fucking, and I hold myself accountable. That's where it really is, where it starts. You know what I mean? When you start blaming everybody else and for your issues, the things that you got going on, and you do that and you get in that habit and you get in that fucking mode, and that just becomes natural to you. Just put the blame on somebody else. He's the reason I'm in this position. She's the reason this happened. You know what I mean? And you can't hold yourself accountable for all that shit, then you're never going to be able to get out of that hole you're digging, because you're not holding yourself accountable. If you don't hold yourself accountable, you're waiting for the people that are fucking you over in your eyes to unfuck you over. And that's never going to happen. You got to do that yourself. So I do that every single day when I wake up. I train myself to live that way. And that's probably the reason why one of the most happiest fucking people you ever meet.
That's such a positive message. I hope everybody was listening, had they, had their listening cap on when you were talking about that, because how you start your day is a big deal. Thinking positively is a big deal. Looking at life as an adventure, and thinking of yourself as a problem solver, not as a victim. I mean, there's so many gems you dropped right there. I just wanted to touch on it, the bullet points, let people know. Soak that in. You control your mind. There's a lot of people I've run into that think RTU is holding back their rap career. Now, I can only speak from my experience. I've been working with these guys at live shows for a couple years and really in-house for the last 8 months. And I can tell you, I have not been to any meetings where they called for any rappers' removal or cancellation in the hip hop community. So I don't have any experience of that. I don't have any experience of anybody holding you back. My door has been wide open to anybody that wants to come in and address any issues. And I've had several people address issues that they had with respect to underground as we try to move forward and move through these things. So I think you're totally on point with your point that it's more in your head that people are holding you back, and it's your own shortcomings and limitations that are holding you back more than anyone. Who do you live with all day? You. How often do you see all these other people that you think are hating on you? You rarely see them, barely see them. You're with you all day. You're the reason. 90% of the time, it's operator, fault of the operator. So let's try to move on. Listen to those jewels from Ruben. Is it tough managing a business?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the toughest part, dealing with employees? Or is it that's a good question. Is it employees or customers the toughest part in running a business?
The employees.
The employees are hard.
Employees, yeah, absolutely.
Hard to find good help. That's been a common phrase in the day.
Yeah, so you want to brush up on that?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm the general manager for a major car wash company out here.
Mm-hmm.
We have 29 locations. I'm responsible for making sure every single one of them are running the way we want them to be ran.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have over 500, almost 500 employees.
Wow.
Okay,
it's a big deal.
Yeah. And when it comes to managing people, everybody's different, right? Not everybody's the same. So you can't manage everybody exactly the same, because what's going to work for this guy is not going to work for this guy. You know what I mean? What's going to work for this guy ain't going to work for him. You can try to be one of those leaders that come to a happy medium and just like, okay, and generally this is how we're going to manage. But when you start doing things like that, that's when people start bumping heads and you know what I mean? It doesn't really work out. So managing people is probably, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just the bigger task. It's instead of your customers. You know what I mean? Because your customers are the reason why you are a business. The customers are
Sure.
the people that are giving you money.
Right.
Right. Your employees are going to be the ones that drive your customers away.
Yeah. Fuck
Your-
up the money.
Your employees are going to be the ones that steal from you. You know what I mean? Your employees are going to be the one that piss off the other employees and make good employees leave.
I just got to say for the record, I might have took a couple blue towels. If they're yours, I got them outside.
Yeah, the microfibers. You know, we lose thousands.
I know you do.
Every week.
Anytime you make something available to humankind, and it's people like to play games with race and rich and poor and all that. But anytime you make something available to where a certain percentage of people could take them, you know that. You say thousands a week. You know
we lose thousands a week.
Anyway, well, I think it sounds like you got a good grip on that. You say the things that managers say. That's a huge responsibility, especially for a wacky comedian that makes funny internet vids, you know.
Yeah.
Is that the part that satisfies your parents or your dad, especially? Does that make him happy when you're in a more grounded situation, let's say?
Like my job or my comedy?
Your job. The fact that, does that give balance so that, you know, it's not uncomfortable at Thanksgiving and holidays, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
He can talk about your son being a general manager. He doesn't have to just say he's a comedian.
Right. No, well, for a little while, even so, my father, like he used to. He's retired now, but like he just retired like 6 months ago.
Good for him. God bless. Good for him.
But yeah, he used to always call me and like video call me when he was with coworkers and shit. He's a crane operator for a big company.
Wow. Okay.
So then he would do that thing. Hey, look, it's my son. He's the one from I showed you the TV show.
Oh, so eventually he got to bragging about
exactly.
you. Okay,
exactly,
cool.
Exactly.
Well, that's a beautiful thing. You got over the rough hump, and I mean, when you make it to TV, that says a lot to a lot of people. And hey, let's be honest, mainstream broadcast, you know, not just the the internets,
I got a cool ass shot and a good scene in an episode of Hawaii Five-0.
Okay, awesome. So you were working. How did you break into being a working, you know, what in the East Coast we would say a working Hollywood actor, you know? And I know working is a big word in that phrase because working comes and goes and can be slim, but how did you even start to do that? I got how you started comedy, music, viral video, comedy. A lot of people suffer a long time in the comedy community and never get on TV. How did you make that jump?
Well, networking. Going to LA all the time, performing at the Comedy Store.
I see you. Your moves look, you know, I don't believe what I see on Instagram and Facebook because I believe you know, for some people it's just as unreal as TV. Yeah. But the moves, the pictures, videos, everything you're doing, you know, you look like you're running around having fun.
Having a lot.
Taking meetings, having lunches. From Chicago, huh?
Yeah, I just performed in Chicago on Sunday.
The good part. Right.
It was good.
Salute Smokey Dollar. I know Chicago's got some troubles.
But you know,
apparently there's a lot of good places, good parts in Chicago as well, and it's all good. Let's be honest, but there's some troublesome areas.
Well, so I was doing really well as far as getting gigs, like acting gigs and getting on TV and shit a couple years ago. But then it was interfering with my stand-up comedy.
Okay. So
I had to. I had to make the decision. Do I want to continue like trying to get acting gigs and this and that, or I want to continue with stand-up comedy? What was happening is a lot of times I was getting booked. I was like, okay, we need fitting. You know, like when I did Hawaii Five-0, I had to cancel a gig at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood.
Okay, it's a big deal.
Yeah, because I had to film from like noon to like 8 p.m. They wanted me to perform at the Laugh Factory at 6 p.m. So I had to pick which one I wanted to do, and I picked doing Hawaii Five-0, which is cool. But today, like, damn, dude, I fucking lost my opportunity to perform at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, you know? So
does it help I know, you know, a lot of times comedians, they'll talk about their bookings. Does it help at all in the comedy world that you've been on Hawaii Five-0? Was it a comedic performance or does it tie together at all? Or is it kind of separate things?
Big clubs don't give a shit. But when you get booked at like small venues and stuff like that, they use that as on their flyer for
sure. You know, so they use it more than you do, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that must be cool to be Hawaii Five-0's own Ruben BOGAYONG. How does you've been single? You have kids?
Yeah, I got some. Yeah, I have kids.
You have kids. You've been with women. You've been single. Talk about how much easier it is to pursue your career being single.
It's the best. I mean, like to
We
be
spoke on it earlier. Women can be problematic, especially white women, which I've touched on earlier. And your career is one where I mean, comedians travel. That's your bread. I know you. That's why I asked about the juggling aspect
yeah.
because you have such a firm 9 to 5, a very responsible job. I'm sure very well paid job. And then you have this comedy thing that can light up and die down at will.
Yeah.
And so there's so much. I'm always impressed with how much you have going on, and you managed to pick up a bottle of Douce and paint your nails all in one day. I just can't. I can't get over how impressive that is to be that well put together. I see you running around, bumping into celebrities.
Let's clear that up. I don't really bump into celebrities. I work with celebrities.
No, I know that.
No,
Well, yeah.
people,
I guess the one I was thinking about was the what's the guy with the teeth. The guy I was thinking about wasn't technically actually a celebrity. He was more like
Welford,
an internet
Welford.
Yeah, Welford.
No,
That was I was thinking back to your Facebook post when y'all ran into Welford. I guess is what I was thinking about.
I run into him a lot actually in LA and in Vegas. He
Mhm.
lives in Vegas now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about, Welvin is the Gotti.
Welvin, got
who ain't got no bitches.
Got him. Do you enjoy? Do you do stand up in Vegas?
I have done stand up in
I
Vegas.
do stand up in Vegas.
Actually, I was supposed to perform. I got asked to perform in Vegas this Sunday, but I already have tomorrow. But I already have a show tomorrow in Mesa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where you gonna be at tomorrow? Maybe me and the wife will come
It's
out.
called the Revelry.
The Revelry.
It's on the Dobson.
Okay.
And off the 101.
Okay. Okay. There's a very small. We live out in East Mesa, and there's a very small comedy club that a guy that does comedy just opened up out there. The last time we were there, they were working on getting the liquor license, but it was during COVID, so they were having trouble. Do you know what?
JP's?
JP's. I think that sounds right. Yeah. Anyway, we enjoyed our night there, even though it was like, Cokes and M&Ms, like the movies. There was no liquor involved, which I feel bad. Is it hard to go up and do comedy in front of people that can't drink?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's harder to DJ in front of people that can't drink.
It's hard for me to watch comedy if I ain't drinking.
Right. Since you've become so involved in stand up, who are some of your favorites? Who do you look up to in comedy?
I look up to rest in peace Ralphie May.
Okay. Great guy.
Rest in peace Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy, definitely. We all love Charlie.
I got to open up for Charlie Murphy one time.
Incredible. Awesome.
And Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is big name. Yeah, sure. Okay, good. That's a good quality name. I ain't got no beef with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say none of them have, people always ask me, like, who inspired you to do comedy? I inspired myself.
Right. It sounds like you kind of, for lack of a better term, you found a niche and dove all in and have been very successful at it.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think it sounds like to me you're much more, and not just sounds like to me, sounds like listening to your comedy that you've become very good very fast. So aside from whatever your internet celebrity is, I'm sure there are people that are just a bit jealous that you're so good so fast. But like you said, maybe it was your natural. I think maybe it was according to the way your baby mom described you, maybe it was just your natural personality that's shining through. Do you think some people are just naturals at comedy or jumping on stage?
Absolutely.
It's something I've toyed with. I on a dare, I entered a contest and went, and Ron Bronson's I got on stage, and first time ever doing comedy. I've hosted a lot of rap shows, so I don't have any problem getting on stage.
Right.
But when it comes to straight writing jokes, it's a lot of work that I just frankly haven't put into it. And when you hear comedians talk about comedy, they say, oh, you put 5 or 10 years in being broke, traveling around everywhere, and then hopefully it works out for you. And at my age, I don't know that I have 5 or 10 years to sleep on couches and travel around. I did that as a rapper. I'm not so much interested in doing that again, I lost my flavor. But you have given me new inspiration as that there's always different ways in. And what would you say to someone like me if, you think you could do it, you think you'd like to do it, it might make you happy, you're not really interested in being famous or making a career out of it. Is that cool just to go down to an open mic and try it? Would you advise people to do that or no?
I would advise people to do that if that's something you always wanted to do. Not that it's just something you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that I want to do, and when I get the opportunity to do it, or I make the opportunity for myself to do it, I do it. You know what I mean? Because I want to knock it out. I just want to be like, I just want to cross that off my bucket list. You know what I mean? Right. So, like someone like you, if you tell me, oh, you want to you want to try it, you know what I mean? I would say just get up there and just go do it. The thing is, the thing is that the cool thing about comedy is you don't have to be sexy. You
That's
ain't got to
true.
be young.
Yeah,
You don't have to have a certain style.
it's true.
None of that. Sometimes the weirdest styles and ugliest people are the most funniest.
Sure. Some people, let's be honest, are just funny to look at, or
Right.
their mannerisms or the way they move
Right.
are odd and fun, and that helps a lot for some people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
Not like you and me, who are incredibly cool and smooth and suave, and it's very hard for us to seem goofy. I've always had a big goofball element. I got up. A fellow named Floyd Brown was throwing comedy shows in his garage at a certain point, so I got up there as well. So that's my total comedy experience. But it's like I hear people talk about, getting that rush from killing, getting that rush from getting a big round of laughs, and that there's really nothing like it. And I would agree.
it's a natural high.
I would agree. It's a natural high, and it feels good. Unfortunately, I haven't killed anywhere. I've gotten a few laughs, which that feels good too. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I got a bit about stopping racism with delicious cookies. So that because I bake cookies, and I'm very I've been involved in hip hop. You need another one?
Hell yeah, please.
I bake cookies, and I've been involved in hip hop. So I've grown, and coming from the South, I'm grown very tired of racism. So I had an idea one day that I could stop racism by creating delicious cookies that have horrible names. So like, I had I might have a cookie called the Jigaboo, or I might have I had like a frosted brown cookie called a wetback. I had a white and chocolate cookie called a mulatto. So what my goal is, so that one day when kids grow up and think about these words, they will think of a delicious cookie and not racism. And I had a double chocolate cookie that I had a name for, but I can't use it because Brazilian Nuts already took the name. I can't say the joke. See, that's part of my problem. I've still got a ban on the N-word in my mind. Even though comedy, I feel like there does give license to say it. Do you partake in the N-word? Not at all.
I give them messing
And
up.
I mean in life, not just comedy, but in general. Do you ever partake of the N-word?
I don't use it.
Being in the urban environment, I never have. I come from the days where even black people didn't want to use it. I'm that old. The native tongue movement, if you will, there was a movement to call each other brothers and things, and not that. And nowadays, let's be honest, Mexicans, white folks grow up certain places. Everybody, if you're from Northern California, apparently old white ladies, everybody uses the N-word up there. So it's all up into what people can and want to do, and I leave it up to them. I don't write the rules on this. I'm just curious about it because I grew up in a racial environment, so I'm constantly curious about racial situations. Are your parents upset that you love the snow bunnies? Would they rather you bring home a nice Filipina girl?
They don't care. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't give a shit.
Because I don't think it's necessarily racist. I mean, my grandmother wanted the grandbabies to look like her. That's just natural. That's not racism,
You know what's been turning me on lately?
What's that? Tell me about it.
Black women, but the ones that have their natural fro.
Oh, word! You're getting into that phase, huh?
I don't know.
I dated a young lady named Afua, which you don't get much blacker than that. And beautiful natural hair. I don't want to disrespect her. We were very friendly and very, and she had the natural hair. So I went through that phase at like 18 is what I'm telling you, because I was on black women early. There was a time when white women,
so this is like the 70s.
not quite the 80s, but there was a time I get the old shots all the time. They don't even bother me, Ruben. There was a time where white women couldn't do anything but get me a cheeseburger and the number of that black woman over there. I was very much had the jungle fever at a certain time in my life.
Okay.
Back when they wrote the song about it. Stevie Wonder had a song about you ain't got jungle fever.
Do you think Stevie Wonder can see?
I think he's somewhat bullshitting. Maybe he can kind of see.
Yeah. So
I mean, they put him in a football field and he drives his cars, which isn't that dangerous, but
well, I was watching a video the other day and they were
that's
doing
a big conspiracy, right?
Stevie Wonder. We the World song, whatever the hell they were doing, and Paul McCartney runs past him, bumps the microphone. The microphone's like this, and it starts falling. And Stevie Wonder puts his hand out and catches
I got to go watch that. That's
catches
great.
it.
I love a good conspiracy. The other day, have you heard the one about Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
There's a conspiracy that at Chuck E. Cheese, they'll take the leftover pizza and they'll put it back together, and they'll throw some extra cheese on it and melt it real quick, and then they'll serve it like a new pizza.
Do they have ex-employees confirming this?
Well, it's a conspiracy online, so as much as you can get confirmed, it's I don't know. People have got weird pictures of like weird cut slices reimagined together. It's on the internet. Like you say, it's all fake, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something like that. I would assume that somebody would have blew that whistle a long time ago, like a disgruntled employee.
The other day, I happened to meet a gentleman that used to be a corporate Chuck E. Cheese employee, and to me, it was like sitting down with the FBI to talk about JFK. He was very adamant that they never used old pizza. You got to go. You got to take a call. Take a call.
Real quick.
And not only was he adamant that they didn't use old pizza, he knew every character from Chuck E. Cheese. There were 10 of them. If someone can type in right now every character from Chuck E. Cheese, Chucky, it was like 5 of the characters. There was a couple dogs. I'll give you a hint. The dog's name is Pepperoni. But if you can fill in the rest of the names from the characters at Chuck E. Cheese, I have got a $20 gift certificate to the dispensary of your choice right now. Type it in the comment section. Give me the other characters from Chuck E. Cheese other than Chuck E. Cheese and the dog Pepperoni. If you can give me any of the other characters, type it in the comments. I got a $20 gift certificate to the dispensary of your choice. That's $20. That's a Harriet Tubman right there. To go to any dispensary and wait in line with your hurt leg. I know nobody can get it without Google. I didn't say you couldn't use Google. Loud, stop bullshitting on the time and get to work and get that $20 at your local dispensary. Now, please, I would advise going to a dispensary that's still medical if you have your card. The recreationals have invaded the landscape and they're smoking everything up. So please, leave some medicine for the rest of us, for the people that have pain, and especially my friends and family that are dealing with cancer and all these serious, serious illnesses. And God help you if you order a delivery. Do not. Get your family to go. Get your buddy to go. Get some weed off the street. Do not order delivery, especially from a lot of these delivery services. The prices are overcharged. The THC levels are expanded and lied about. Just be careful about the delivery service you're dealing with, and be specific about the dispensary you're going to deal with as a medical card holder now that the recreationals have invaded. Now, I'm leading the charge. There's going to be a backlash. We realize, we get it. Helen Henney, the Rockefeller explosion, 3-stage, Mr. Munch, Chuck E. Cheese, and Jasper T. Giles. We might have a winner. Loud, from the Loud Pack Net, we might have a winner. For the contest, I got $20 for you. Gift certificate at the local dispensary of your choice. I would advise to look out for the dispensaries that are looking out for us med heads. I'm leading the charge. I have the whole script written. I'm just waiting for a spokesman. Now, marijuana, cannabis, if you will, helps me with emotional and physical pain. But here's the deal. I'm not a good representative. If you look at me, I look like I'm doing fine. And you know, when this war starts, when we start this agenda, when we start this pushback for all my med heads, we need a good spokesman. There's going to be a backlash to the backlash. And they're going to say, Swerve, you don't look like you need weed for a medical reason. But you know what? That's why I'm getting a spokesperson. I'm writing the whole script. Us med heads, us medicals will strike back. And we will only take our money and deal with the dispensaries that deal with us. And this is not for me necessarily. This is for my brothers and sisters that need medical marijuana daily to deal with depression, to deal with chronic pain, to deal with cancer and serious illness.
You talking about mushrooms?
I'm talking about these dispensaries that are dropping all the medical patients just to get that recreational money when we have built their industry. Our money is the money you use to promote to these recreational people. And we will have our vengeance. We will have or snap back, if you will. I will be painting my face and wearing the bullhorn helmet for this movement, not for Trump, but for the medical patients of Arizona as we strike back against this recreational movement. Ruben Boogie is back.
You should wear that outfit. Remember that the famous guy?
That's what exactly. That's how I'm coming in. All you dispensaries that shit on medical patients, that's how I'm coming in. Face paint, bullhorns, fucking animal skin vest, no shirt, chest hair out like Kanye.
That guy's from Arizona too.
Yeah, I know he is. Shout out to Ghost. He's from Jerome. Shout out to Ghost. Scotty the Ghost went to high school with him.
Oh, really?
And that's got to be a great feeling.
You know, Jerome is my favorite city in Arizona.
Why is that? Give us a reason. I love that.
I just love the vibe there.
Oh, is it laid back? Is it cool? Most people say Sedona. You like Jerome?
I like Sedona.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to. You ever been to Jerome?
Never been. I want to go.
Wow. Well, it's only 2.5 streets big, but
I like that vibe.
The vibe is dope. When you're there, you don't even feel like you're in Arizona.
Right.
It's like you're in some fucking foreign city somewhere.
Okay. I'm looking for that. That's cool. We'll go. Do they have a hotel? Can we stay there?
They have several hotels.
Okay. Cool. Do they have a mall?
No.
I was talking.
But even better.
Right.
They've got 2 bars.
Nice. Where everybody knows your name, I bet. They still remember Ruben Boogie coming there, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you leave an impression on people when you leave a situation, when you leave a room? Do you think you leave an impression on people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. You're a character. I like you because you're what my father was and what I think what we're losing somewhat in the internet times. You are a character, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's
you stand out.
Right. And some people, it's different because some people are like, oh, it's an act, this and that. But I'm just naturally just nuts and outspoken.
I feel
on the respectful side, though.
Sure.
But yeah, man.
Once
again, like I said, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. So I will make stupid faces. You know what I mean? I will say weird shit. I will, you know what I mean? Some people I remember this one time not that long ago. I made a really, I don't know. I was making a dumb face, and this girl looked at me like, don't do that again. I was like, why? And she was like, hey, you just look stupid. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Why give a shit?
I don't give a fuck. Come on now. Because if I stop doing stupid faces for you, that means I'm starting to live my life for what you want me to do. I would never do that.
Are you good? I know you've got a situation going on today. Is everything cool? Is it getting back to normal?
It's just a normal life when you run 29 locations.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And car washes are important in Arizona.
Crazy important.
And I understand why. They weren't as I come from the East Coast. Once I got into black culture, it became a tradition on the weekend to wash your car.
Yeah.
You wash your own car. And I got out here and I felt like the white folks were looking at me funny for washing my own car, and to me, it's just a tradition I grew up with. But out here, it's very much a lot of work to keep your own car clean.
Especially in the summertime.
Because it's so dusty. And even when it rains, the rain is dusty,
yeah.
which is crazy to learn as you move out here from the East Coast.
I mean, that's why we sell unlimited memberships,
Exactly. Sell it, baby. I'm going to get me one. They just put out, I don't know if it's one of yours, they just put out a new car wash out in East Mesa on Ellsworth. Brand new one. They're building
that's
up.
Fine.
That's you?
Yeah. I just opened up on a highway too.
But that's where I'm gonna join at that location. So I'm glad it's yours. It happens to be the one closest to my house.
The one on Hunt Highway? Or the one on Ellsworth?
It's on Ellsworth right as you get off 24.
Yeah, that's ours too.
Yeah.
That one we just opened
it's brand new.
Like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
No, I just opened up 2 days ago.
Oh.
On Hunt Highway, deeper in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with all the highways and streets yet. I'm new here. Man, I had a good question and it slipped my mind. What do you miss about doing music? That you used to do music a lot. You don't do music much. Do you miss anything about music?
No, because I still make music.
Right.
But the only thing I guess I would miss is performing music in front of people.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I still make music.
Do you get calls for features? I thought do you produce and engineer as well?
I always get hit up for features.
You always get hit up for features?
I turn them all down.
You turn them all down?
Yeah.
Why is that? You really just do it for yourself?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I do it because I love making music. And I'm not doing it because I want, I posted something. I posted something earlier today, actually, of me rapping.
Okay.
And it's not because I want to be a rapper. It's just because I enjoy rapping. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Like, I like to paint, right? So when I start painting shit, I don't want people to think, oh, he wants to be a painter. No, an artist. No, I just enjoy fucking taking acrylic paint and going to the canvas with it. You know what I mean? So I just do it just to make music because I love doing it. But I will say I'm pretty fucking good at it. You know what I mean?
That's the
So
word on the street is what I got, that you were a good artist when you were heavy in it. You were good at it.
yeah, but yeah, I just enjoy making music. You know, I do get hit up for features all the time. Still, yo, get on the song. We gotta drop a song together. This and that, and I'd rather not.
What, if any, advice would you give to someone, I guess, at least since you went viral, it's been a huge push to go viral. Every kid, everybody, every old man, everybody that discovers the internet wants to go viral. Do you have any advice? To me, it seems like a crapshoot, aside from just doing something funny and giving it your best shot. Do you have any advice for anybody that I want to go viral?
Yeah, just be different. Okay. And whatever you film, make sure it has replay value, which means they're going to want to rewind it and watch again, see what they missed, rewind, watch again. Right. So if you want to go viral, just make sure it's off the wall, something people are going to want to share. Let's get one thing right. Okay. And this goes for musicians.
Sure.
This goes for comedians. This goes for anybody on
I
the
need
internet
this
and you wanna
advice
go
personally,
popular.
so thank you for giving it. Go ahead.
If you want to go viral, number one, or if you just want to get extra popular and I don't give a shit about likes, and I don't care about comments. Those two things I don't care about. What I care about is the share. You got to focus on the shares, because when people start sharing, that's when they start believing in it on another level.
And that's a multiplier.
Right. So
because when one person shares, at least 3 or 4 or 5 of them people go watch it. One of them might share, and then it starts to multiply.
Well, what happens is the more shares you get, the more likes and comments you get. Okay. So likes and comments are cool, but the share is where it's at, because someone can hit like on something and that's it. It builds your likes. It looks cool to your people that are already your fans. But I don't want to share my stuff with the people that already follow me. I need new followers. And the only way to get new followers is not a comment or a like, is the share.
It's a share. You're right. That's good, Jim. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I see that what I did there. Thank you for sharing that.
No, seriously, that's what it is. And the only way you're going to get a share is when you do something different than what the norm is. So if they see you do the same exact thing every single time, it's not going to get shared. The only time you're going to get shared is when it's off the wall, different. What the fuck? Everyone's got to see this share.
In the last year and a half, I've seen a lot of different takes on in the store. Did you start all that?
I started the Walmart shit.
Because there's a lot, like there's a guy for instance, there's a guy that makes a loud noise and acts like there's a guy that throws shit in the air, and maybe that's the same guy. I get them confused. I don't know, but there's a huge thing of fucking with people in stores, retail stores. And you were 3 years ago, which I'm not up on it to know, but did you kind of lead that charge for that kind of thing?
I'm the first person. And you can look it up.
Because the thing about the internet, it documents the timeline. You can't fake the timeline of when something happened.
Right. Walmart. I was the very first person to start doing videos in Walmart. And
now you got brothers wrestling in Walmart. That's another one. You got the fake wrestlers in Walmart.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm the first person that made a funny video in Walmart, but I'm the first person to go viral in a Walmart.
Right. So, okay. All right. Enough respect. That's big enough for me.
So, people do all
it seems like you've capitalized. A lot of us, it's like, to me, it's very similar to getting a record deal. It's to a lot of us at a certain time in life, it seemed like magic. And you get the record deal. A lot of people get confused and think that's the goal, and really that's just the starting point. And here's how I think it relates. For you, a lot of people wish for that viral video.
Right.
But again, to me, that seems like when you get your first viral video, that's just the starting point. That's not exactly the whole goal. And so what did you how did you learn? What are some tips for capitalizing on something like that? If you do, for you, I guess it was stand-up comedy is how you're capitalizing on your viral video, or to make other viral videos. What are your thoughts on that? If you do get lucky or fortunate or blessed, or if you're creative and create something wonderful and you do get that first viral video, how do you turn that into something else?
More content. Don't sit on it. Don't be like, I'm viral. Yeah, don't. Yeah, because here's what happens. You go viral, right? Overnight success, boom, viral.
Right.
So people want to know who the hell you are. So they're going to come to your page.
Sure.
And all they're going to see, if you haven't done nothing else, is just your viral video. And everything before that didn't
Pictures
go
of your girlfriend and shit.
right, just bullshit. Yeah,
Right,
you're feeding your hamster and shit.
right.
Right. So the thing what you got to do is you got to keep continuing giving them content. Now, not everything you film is going to be viral. Not everything you put out there is going to be viral, but it gives people a deeper insight on who you are as a person, and it creates this mystique about. I need to know who this guy is. I want to know more about him. You know what I mean? So that's when you start getting those people that are fucking sharing all your shit, telling their friends about you, that kind of shit. You know what I mean? To answer your question regarding how do you capitalize on that, I would say just continue putting out content. You're not gonna just like a rapper, you know what I mean? He puts out an album with 19 songs, all 19 don't hit Billboard.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But it gives you a taste of what else he can do. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. That's what I do. Now,
I guess to sum up, they all don't have to be home runs. If you get one home run and you got a couple triples and doubles on your page, that's good.
Right.
Because it fleshes out who you are.
Right.
And you might not everyone's not gonna be a home run.
Yeah, everybody. I get so many people that write me on Facebook all the time. Every day, I get these messages. I get, hey, you're inspiring. I love waking up and watching your videos. I get people that say, hey, you haven't posted all day. Is everything okay? I get oh my God, you're so funny. Let me know when you're in my town, when you're in my state, when you're in my city. I get
real fans
every day. And the thing is, real fans. You know what I mean? And I think that's a problem that some people don't understand out here that I work with when they're whether they're musicians or comedians or whatever, is you got to understand that your whole goal is to continue making new fans and new followers, not being complacent and being comfortable with who you have, right? So when you're like I'm a rapper, let's say I'm a local rapper, right? And I post a song and I'm like, hey, I got a new song, and I post a new song, right? And it just gets the same likes and the same comments from the same group of people that always like my shit. You know what I mean? You're not doing nothing to progress. What are you doing to get to the next level? You know what I mean? If you're not doing anything different, you can't expect different results.
Is it okay to buy promotion on Facebook and Instagram? Or I don't even know if YouTube offers that, but is it okay to buy promotion to try to bump up to another level?
Yeah. So to answer that question, yes. I don't think it's okay to purchase fake views in place. You can't do that.
Right.
But there is a way. Now, there's a difference between fake views and views, because there is a way when you sponsor one of your posts, right? It's real views.
Right.
It goes to real people's pages.
Right,
it goes to real people's inboxes.
I feel like Instagram and Facebook especially, I can't even reach all my friends unless I give them some money. Is that the case, do you think?
Well, it's just the
because I got 5,000 friends, but I'm at a level where I get 500-600 views for my mix show Flowers, or I might get as much as 1,000 views for a mission show. But I feel like I'm kind of being capped because I'm not spending a lot of promotion money.
No.
Is that true at all?
No, it's not true.
My friends are just full of shit. My friends are just not good friends. Is that what you're saying?
There's very little truth to what you're saying. What the thing is that you just need more people to interact with your posts. So it's an algorithm. It's an algorithm.
Okay.
If your page is not popular,
Thank you for saying this.
If your posts are not popular, if you don't have enough people coming to your page, if you don't have enough people writing you messages, Facebook is smart. So all social media is, but Facebook is smart. It knows this person's not that popular. This person's not.
So it's kind of like high school again. Facebook is the popular kids telling the other popular kids he's not that good. Don't fuck with him.
Right. So what happens?
He's not ready yet. Let's put it that way.
Here's what happens. Like, you're my friend on Facebook, right?
Right. Sure.
Now, let's say you are. Let's just say you are extremely popular, right? And a lot of people interact with you. You interact with a lot of people. When I refresh my feed, you're going to be up there. Facebook is going to know you're going to have to see this guy's post because a lot of people are interacting with it. Okay. And you interact with him. Me and you message each other all the time. We like each other's posts all the time. It knows that I got to see your post. Now, if you never interact with me, I never interact with you, your posts get 3 likes, things like that, it's going to bury you down. It's going to say, you're not going to want to see this. You're not going to want to see this.
Very important information, and I'm so happy you're sharing because everybody doesn't always share important information. Yeah. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Free game right here on The Mission. Well, I feel like I've kept you an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like I've kept you a long time. I feel like you're a busy guy with a lot of important shit going on, and I should let you get back to your regular life. Is there anything I generally ask people, I've asked you a lot of shit. I generally ask people if there was something you could change tomorrow, like Thanos with the snap of your fingers, and it could be anything, your personal life, worldwide issues and problems, whatever. What would you change tomorrow if you could?
Yourself, myself, for
Mm,
the better.
that's profound. That's something you can actually do.
Yeah,
That's something you can do without the powers of Thanos.
myself.
So that's an
And
excellent answer.
and even if you say, you're one of those people that are like, oh, no, I'm fine the way I am. I'm fine the way I am. We're always learning. We're always growing. We can always be better. So,
I think you're like those fat white women that sat at my table. If you think you're fine the way you are,
right. No,
because I think you're deluding yourself.
Yeah.
None of us are really fine the way we are, right?
Yeah.
I think we all could do a little better tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking sit at my table. There's 10 other open tables, bitch. You got 10 kids.
You kind of sound like a Karen yourself.
It's a 6 top. We were 2 people sitting at a 6 top, and 2 other people who were extra weighted came to. I sound like a Karen. I was invaded by Karens, Ruben. And I can't look at me. I can't complain.
They thought you were one of them.
They're going to take the Karen side. Now, I blame it on me being sexy, and they just want to get up next to a player because I do kind of stand out. And I appreciate people that stand out, and like yourself, because it's hard sometimes standing out. But I like to stand out, especially in Arizona, especially in Scottsdale and East Mesa, and people where white people are privileged and entitled. I like to stand out. But apparently I'm nowhere near as scary as I thought I was, because those bitches sat at my table and didn't get up when I came. They said, look at this. See, I think I'm all scary, but I got the gray in the beard. Look at this old fucker. He's not going to make us move. And they're right. See, I'm mad at myself, Ruben. All of this is mad at myself because I should have handled it differently at the time. I should have said, no, pardon, I'd rather y'all sit somewhere else. But all of this is me being mad at myself. So I apologize to you overweight macaroni and cheese eating bitches. I apologize. Next time we're at the Elevate, you can gladly sit at any goddamn table you choose. I don't care. I want to thank you so much. You've dropped so many gems today. We had a great conversation, and I feel like it's been my pleasure completely. I could sit and talk with you for hours between the music and the comedy and the running of business and the Asian parents. Do you have a college degree?
Yeah, I do.
Is that mandatory for an Asian young man raised to Asian parents? Is it mandatory?
No.
Do you have to do that before you get to fulfill your own life wishes, just to prove, like, hey, here it is, I'm going to go do my thing now?
No, so what happened was I got my bachelor's in health admin.
Okay.
In 2012.
You on the way to being a nurse or something? I don't know. What does that mean? Is that what that means? I don't know.
No, it's just I'm you handle everything else, the paperwork.
Administration. Got you. Okay.
You run the hospital.
You run the right.
You know what I mean? You're not in there with
You were GM. You were always gonna be GM. You were never gonna be ditch digger. I got you.
Right,
Go
right.
ahead. Okay.
So you run the hospital. So but I just ended up never leaving my company. So I kind of spent $35,000 for nothing.
Okay, so you had the job before the degree.
Yeah, I had my
So it just
job.
looks good now. Yeah. It looks good though.
And I told myself, I'm gonna go to college while I'm working here at the car wash, and then one day I'm gonna transition over and use my degree. So by the time that happened and I graduated, the money I was making with my company I was gonna take a pay cut jumping into the. And I was like,
why do that?
I'm like, fuck that.
I always wanted to get my college degree just so I could tell my parents to fuck off. Just so here, this is for you. It's what you wanted. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. So all of these are my personal issues coming out in the interview, and I appreciate you dealing with that. I appreciate your comedy, how hard you work, and I know you've got to get back to it, so we're going to let you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Ruben BOGAYONG. BOGAYONG.
Yeah.
BOGAYONG.
Yeah, you didn't have to stop and pause on that gay part like that.
Ruben Gay. Ruben Boogay. BOGAYONG.
Make sure you guys follow me at Ruben Boogie on everywhere. Boogie on, like get your boogie on. That's RUBEN BOOGIEON at Ruben Boogie on everywhere. Follow me home. Shit.
Comedy, viral videos. The best car washes in the Phoenix area. Ruben Boogie on.
Everybody calls me the Bucanas guy. You remember that video?
Bucanas. No, I don't know.
No? Okay, that's actually I was the most viral person in the world last year at the beginning of the year.
God damn it! Drop the fucking.
Well, I dropped the video. The video.
No, just.
I dropped the video on the 1st of the year last year,
I
And
want to say thank you
I
first
had,
and foremost, stop, because you are, without a doubt, this is it. You are the biggest celebrity to date I have interviewed.
yeah, last year I did this video
So I'm gonna blow up
talking
now,
shit.
right? Do
Yeah,
I get to blow up now
I
when
mean
I
we
start
can
cut up
figure
clips
something
of
out.
this?
We can figure something out.
I got to blow up now. I'm with the biggest guy. I'm with the most viral guy in the world in
Well,
Phoenix.
that was until
Are
that
you the?
stripper fell off the pole. Remember last
Ah,
year?
yeah, when the stripper fell
She
off.
beat me. So I had like 200 million views.
It's hard to beat tits falling, girls failing. That's a big deal on the
Yeah,
internet, right?
yeah.
Girls failing. Do you Are you one of the Are you one of the bigger viral people in the Phoenix area? Is it clocked at all? Do
Yeah,
you know
well,
the other viral people in the Phoenix area?
So there's one really, really viral guy, but he moved from LA to here. He already had a huge following, which is cool. He's still doing good, and
Right.
he's based out of Tempe now, so
Right.
he's got millions of views too.
There's a lady in my neighborhood that she's a legitimate YouTuber that makes big sponsorships from Toyota and everybody. She's the and I love you if you're watching. My wife's friends. I told you about my wife's neighborhood friends. She's the epitome of a white woman, and I believe sponsors pay her to lead white women into using their products.
Well, that's what it's.
But
all about.
that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah,
she's pretty big in that area, in that zone.
We got a lot of Instagram followers and shit.
Yeah, all of that type shit. Yeah. She's,
that's what it's all about.
you know, whether it's driving a Toyota, they'll pay her to drive a Toyota for the weekend, and you know all that kind of shit, all that upper level internet shit that I'm not involved in.
Yep.
But she's there. So I'm trying to buddy up to her and her husband. Her husband manages a dispensary. So between the two of them, they're my new best friends right there. So Ruben, I can't thank you enough for coming in. Thank you so much for all the information you shared. Here at The Mission, it's about sharing gems, experiences, and helping people out. And man, you're just the epitome of success, a hard worker. So let's emphasize that. There's no way you can get to where you're at without hard work, correct?
Absolutely.
A lot of hard work. Follow Ruben wherever he's at. Check on The Mission. Thanks so much again for everybody checking out the show. Catch us next week. We'll see you then. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one.